just a few more seconds. Takes just about 10 seconds. Okay, the meeting is yours, Mr. Chair. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. I would like to call the Commerce Township Downtown Development Authority meeting to order for September 15th, 2020. Thank you for joining us today. First item on our agenda is approval of minutes for the August 18th, 2020 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
Motion to approve the minutes of the August 18 meeting.
Support.
That would be Dan Lublin. Motion, and is there a second? Please identify yourself.
Support.
Jim Gotts supporting. Deb Watson, would you please do a roll, or are there any changes for the minutes? Deb Watson, would you please do the roll call vote for approval of the minutes?
Lublin,
Aye.
Gotts,
Aye.
Natta,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Felker,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
and we do not have David Scott on, do we?
I think we may have, is 2966 his number?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Scott, if you could, please press *6 to unmute your phone.
I'm here. I'm here, Ken.
There we go. You sound a little bit distant, Mr. Scott. You may want to relocate your phone for better reception.
I am probably the best I'm going to get, and I was an aye for that vote.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Motion
Thank
carried.
you, Mr. Scott. Welcome.
Welcome.
With that, we have the motion to approve the minutes has passed. I would like to move to item 2, public comment. For public comment, we're going to turn this over to Ken Milburn to open up the lines for public comment. Ken, you can handle this.
Yeah, just a reminder to any of the callers that are online that would like to make public comment. We will select you once your hand is raised and ask you to unmute your line. The way you raise your hand is by pressing *9 on your keypad. Again, press *9 on your keypad, and we will call on you to make your comment. I'll give you a moment to just look over your keypad if you're doing that now. Again, that feature is *9. Not seeing any virtual hands raised at this time, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. With that, we will close the public comment. Thank you for participating. We will move on to item 3, Insight Commercial Report. Randy Thomas.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stacy, we do have a hand raised. It kind of came
I'm
in
sorry.
at the last
Let's
moment.
back up to public comment. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. Okay, caller with the last 4 digits of 4240. We will ask to unmute your line. Please press *6 to unmute. And then also, caller, please state your name and address for the record. No, caller with the last 4 digits, 4240. Please press *6 on your keypad. There we go. Go ahead, caller. Please state your name and address for the record.
Oh, Pam Jackson, 5736 Lancaster Lane, Commerce Township. And I'm just sitting in and listening on to this fabulous meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thanks for joining us today, Pam.
We did have another caller just now join us. Again, just a reminder to any of the callers, if you'd like to speak, please press *9 on your keypad. Okay, Mr. Stacy, I don't see any other hands raised at this time.
We will close public comment then. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
let's
sorry.
move on.
I'm sorry. I just got one last second here.
No problem.
Okay, caller with the last 4 digits of 9408. Please press *6 on your keypad to unmute. Okay, caller, please state your name and address for the record. Go ahead. Caller 9408, you can proceed. And they just went back to, there you go.
Can you hear me?
There you go,
I
caller,
already
yes.
stated, but for the record, Larry Gray is on the call. Interested to see how these downtown development authority meetings go, and look forward to working with you folks.
Thank you, Larry, for joining us.
Did we get his name and address? Okay. Thank you, caller.
Are you looking for me, Mark?
Who's that? Is this Larry?
It's Eric Nagler, Campbell Creek Drive.
Oh, hi, Eric. How are you?
Just listening in.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that is all the callers, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. With that, we will close public comment. Let's move on to the Insight Commercial Report. Randy Thomas, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Before I start, I'd like to note that Kelly McDonald from Goddard Schools, as it relates to Parcel L, is on the call, so she may have comment. To start off, I really don't have a whole lot new that's happened, this past month, but I will update you on some of the pertinent things. So if you drive through the Shapiro development, which is on the southwest corner of the property, you note that they've got a lot of progress going on with a lot of the buildings being closed up, and then a lot of foundations being put in the ground. Their goal is to have the vast majority of the buildings up and closed, so they can finish the interior of the buildings, during the winter months. Mark, I believe you walked through one or two of the units. Do you want to give the DDA just a quick update?
Yeah, I actually went out there with Dave Campbell. We met with the on-site supervisor. The buildings are coming along as expected. They're hoping to move the first people in January 1st. We did a tour of a ground floor unit and also the clubhouse, and they're going to look exceptional. They were talking about rental pricing in the neighborhood of $2,800 for the 2-bedroom ground floor units that overlook the wetlands, which is a price point that will assist us in building a exceptional neighborhood. In looking at them, they really are going to come out very nice. The clubhouse was, it's not done, but you could just tell it's going to be stunning by the time it's done, with the pool and the outdoor areas that they're including, and the walkways, the improvements to the pathway system to hook into our 7 miles of trails. By the time that project's done, I think we're going to all be very pleased. The one thing that they did say that's slowing them down is pricing and availability of the wood products to build the buildings, but that's something that we're hearing from all of the contractors at this point in time. Mr. Campbell, did you have anything to add to that from our site visit?
I would agree that everything's turning out very nice, and the tour of both clubhouse and the unit that we were able to look at are definitely indicative of this being a high quality development. I'm trying to get the township, convince the township to rent one of those units for the planning department, so the planning director doesn't have to travel all the way home after some of our late meetings. So far, I haven't been able to convince them, so I might come to the DDA and see if the DDA's budget can rent one of those units for the planning department.
Very nice. Thank you, Dave. Go ahead, Randy.
Okay, the next would be parcel B1, which would be the first phase of the retail development. Really haven't heard much on from Bruce. In doing, I could just call it phase 1A, which would be the development of the ring road and the outlots. And Dave, if you've heard anything, it's been pretty quiet on my end during the past 30 days.
I know that Mr. Akins is negotiating with potential residential partners, and it sounds like one in particular is making some real progress. I don't know that I'm supposed to divulge who that would be, but I want to believe that once that deal is made with a residential partner, then that might be the tipping point to see some real progress on the site. Because I think the residential developer believes there to be a market to get those residential units going as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's consistent with what Bruce has been talking about, the past couple months. The second would be still in that, it would be phase 2, which would be the northern 14 acres plus or minus. Nothing to report. He's got until October 31st, 2021 to exercise that option. The next would be Granger. I've reported previous couple meetings that Granger was looking at a possible exit strategy on the excess land. I did hear from one of the representatives after our meeting last month that they're still in the investigative stage, and will be getting back with us. And as soon as I know something, I always call Mark and let him know, and we'll report back at the next meeting. Parcel C, which is the hard corner of Pontiac Trail in Haggerty. Again, we continue to talk to gas station operators. The activity in the last 30 days, typically in August, it does get a little lighter because everybody's on vacation. We saw that again, this year, and it's reflective on, parcel F and parcel J1 and the same. Parcel D&E, that's Merrill Park. Nothing on our end to report. That's up and going. Parcel F, like I just shared with you, a little lighter activity during the past month. The dentist that I've told you in the past, still monitoring what's going on with 5 in Main before he makes any commitments, but he does remain interested. Parcel G is Hunter Pasteur. Nothing to report on that piece. Parcel I, which would be Gilden Woods, nothing to report. Parcel J1, that's the hard corner of Oakley and Haggerty. Generally, if we talk to anybody on Parcel C or in reverse, we had the same conversation on this piece, a little lighter in the last month. We have had a inquiry on an industrial building, but they have elected to move to make an offer on another piece, but still within the DDA district.
Randy, I know that Haggerty and Oakley Park, the piece that was Kitty Corner in West Bloomfield, it sold, and then there's a sign back up. Do you know what's going on with that? Because that's competitive to ours.
Yeah, Mark, you know what? I did place a phone call. I haven't heard back from the broker, relative to what's going on. I believe that they were looking to do multiple family on the corner. I'll reach out and find out what the story is.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Let's see, North Point Development, which is the indoor storage facility, nothing on our end to report. Parcel K, I did tell you that there was a group that was looking to do self-storage or mixed use with retail and self-storage. Their plan, at least what they told us, was they were going to come back and have a preliminary meeting with Dave Campbell and I before making any formal offers. Have not heard from them in the last 60 days, so I don't really know where they stand. We haven't heard any, we haven't gotten any return phone calls for that fact. Parcel L is the 1.8 acres that we have on Haggerty Road. I did tell you that we have reached an agreement on a letter of intent. I believe Tom Roush has circulated that to everybody. Tom, I'll let you give, since we're now entering the legal phase of this, the update.
Okay, I will do that as part of your presentation. The letter of intent was discussed and negotiated, signed by Mark and by Kelly McDonald. And you have a copy of it that I sent you a few days ago. It is consistent with the information that you've heard before. Ms. McDonald intends to have the early childhood school product developed on the site. And after executing the letter of intent, we have commenced negotiations on a sales agreement and actually are very close to having a sale agreement available. We certainly should have something by the next meeting for approval at the next meeting. There are a couple of issues that require us to do some research, particularly regarding the pathway system in the existing development, which had originally intended to be proposed as possibly crossing this parcel to Haggerty Road. So we're going to look at that further over the next time period, and we'll have a recommendation, I think, within the next month.
Now, Tom, the marketing committee has looked at this individually, and I have spoken with them. At this point, do we need this board to make a motion to move forward with the purchase agreement based on the letter of intent, or how do you want to handle this?
That would certainly be appropriate. It would be appropriate to have the board acknowledge the letter of intent and confirm that the director and myself and Randy will continue to negotiate the terms of the sales agreement and bring it back to the board when it's in a form that both parties can agree to.
Thank you. Based on our discussions last month, we feel that this does satisfy what the DDA board was looking for, which was to have a price that was within our parameters of what that piece of property was worth, bringing in a high quality development that offered the ability to improve that section of Haggerty Road. If you go over there, you'll notice that I believe it's called a Fairs to Remembers building is looking really good. You put in a brand new building here, suddenly we're going to have what I feel is at least some traction in cleaning up that section of Haggerty. We're excited. The product for Goddard Schools is significantly different than what is over there. The operator comes with a solid resume to provide this service to the children in this area. And what I would like to do is to get this board to make a motion to move towards a purchase agreement based on the letter of intent, if that is your desire.
A motion to approve the letter of intent and to have the attorney and the director move forward based on the conditions as outlined.
That is Dan Lublin. Do we have support?
Support.
Jim Gotts supporting. Discussion. Let's go ahead and open it up for discussion. I know that at the last meeting, the majority seemed to be pretty comfortable with it. Susan, we got the price up, so I think that should help you from your concern last time, and we agreed with that. Are there any questions on this? You've reviewed the document. If not, I'll call for the vote. Deb, would you please call a roll call vote?
Lublin,
Aye.
Gotts,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
Spelker,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Scott,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Matta.
Aye.
Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Mark, just a comment.
Yes.
I think this works out every bit to the benefit of the community, with the housing to the west and the park between it. And with this, I think we have a true winner for that area.
I think it'll work out very well. Thank you, Danny. Okay. Randy, you're still up. Anything else from your report?
Yeah, the last two parcels are within the 5 and Main development, other than our signs continually being, vandalized and torn down. I think we'll have activity once Aiken starts the the ring road with the disposition of these pieces. Outside of that, I don't have anything else to say, except if there's any questions.
Hearing no questions, thank you, Randy.
Yep.
Let's move on to the director's report. Obviously, Randy has covered an update on the developers. We do have the signed LOI from Goddard Schools. I will work on the PA with them and legal counsel. HOA budget, I took that to, or I'm sorry, the DDA budget, I took that to town board on August 25th. It is now in their process. As you remember, we approve it. We send it to town board. They accept it or make changes. They did not change anything. They will work that into their budget. Then it will come back to this board probably November for final adoption. But at this point, there is nothing we have to do on that. MTT judgments, nothing currently outstanding that we're aware of. HOA items. We will be working on the 2021 budget. All dues are current. All tax forms are submitted. Lighting, we have met with the light pole supplier and are trying to get pricing for a new shipment of light poles and heads. We're going to be out after this final repair. Whether we're moving to a steel light pole or staying with aluminum is the big debate based on what is available. At the last meeting, I made you aware that someone had ran over a light pole. The actual pre-trial conference is today, I think as we speak. It was sometime afternoon. So we'll find out if we get any reimbursement from that. However, we did find out that there was no insurance involved. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully payment plan we can work out and get a recovery. We do need to restock our inventory. We had Chris in, our lighting contractor, and are putting that together. Landscaping, continuing on with United, doing a good job. We did have a tree that came down over behind Granger. We have gone to work with a new vendor, Russo Excavating, to take care of some of the issues such as this. In working with Russo, he was able to give us. Oh, hold on, Danny, can you hang that other line up?
I'm trying to.
Thank you.
Okay, they stopped. Thanks.
Thank you. We went out to our original vendor on the tree issue, West Side Forestry, I believe their name was. We were unhappy with the pricing that came back. We went to Russo, and he gave us very good hourly pricing. So we're going to see how it works out with him. So far, pricing and responsiveness has been great. Hopeful that this is a long-term positive relationship for the HOA to deal with on-site problems. Irrigation system is up and running. Should be just about in time to close it down for the winter, but I think that the project is looking good. We have one area that is not being watered or was not watered, and I think they lost the grass, but it's in front of Merrill Park, and that was actually their sprinkler system that was not working, not ours. So while it looks terrible, that's not something that was caused by our irrigation. We have been in contact with our Phragmites vendor. You remember that in the fall, we spray 4 Phragmites in the common areas. Last year, the bill was approximately $14,000. Again, this year it came in at $13,500. Phragmites are an ongoing problem that you have to do constant treatment to keep up with. And then once you get rid of them, it helps. The issue that we have now is that we applied for a state license to treat the Phragmites. It came back and they said no. The chemical that we are used last year. They are not allowing us to use this year due to a change in what they want to see happen. Based on our discussions with our vendor, he feels that the chemical that they want him to use is not as good. In theory, it's supposed to be better for the protected conservation easement wetlands. However, if the Phragmites are getting into those, I don't see the positive to this. They are fighting at the state level over it, not just our situation. It's not Commerce Town Place that's fighting it, but it is the commercial pest or commercial vendors that do these type of services that are fighting with the state, trying to get approval for the better level of chemical to kill the Phragmites. We have authorized for this year to go ahead and put on the chemical that is not as effective. However, it is the only thing that they're going to let us use this year. And hopefully next year we can go back to the better treatment program. We'll see which way that turns out, but we do have to treat for Phragmites, so we will do that. That brings you up to date on the director's report. Any questions on that? Hearing none, we'll move on to the attorney's report. Item 5. Tom? Tom Roush?
I had myself muted there. Sorry about that.
No problem.
There are people that think attorneys should always be muted, but we'll leave that where it goes. We've been all continued to work with you and with Randy on the sale of Parcel L, and we've had quite a bit of progress with that with the letter of intent and with a draft purchase agreement, which I prepared, which the potential buyer has provided us comments on. Now I need to go do some further research and investigation, and should be back with, as I indicated earlier, back with something by the next meeting. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet.
Any questions for Tom? With that being said, I don't hear any. Let's move on to the engineering report. Matt?
Pretty much on the same theme as Tom's. We've assisted in the purchase of Parcel L, performed a ALTA survey, a title survey of the property that's being used by both the seller and the purchaser, obviously, and been assisting in some information requests from outside groups interested in buying property, interacting with agents. That's been about it. It's been a pretty quiet month.
Thank you so much, sir. Any questions for Matt? Hearing none, we'll move on to the planning director's report. Dave Campbell.
I don't know that I have any more updates on any DDA owned properties. A couple projects that I can update you on within the DDA boundaries. One is 84 Lumber in the Homestead Industrial Park off of Martin Road. They went in front of the Planning Commission for a public hearing last night. The public hearing is required because they are proposing a conditional rezoning of 3 properties, rezoning them from TLM, technology and light manufacturing, to industrial, so that they can have an outdoor lumber yard encompassing those 3 properties. The Planning Commission didn't take any formal action last night. Procedurally, we have to bring them back at the Planning Commission's October 5th meeting. But based on the conversation that was had last night, that sounds like a project that is likely to move forward and go in front of the Township Board for a final determination on the rezoning at the board's October 13th meeting. I had a conversation this morning with the realtor who's marketing the vacant piece of property just north of 14 Mile on the west side of Haggerty Road. We call it the Fetter property. This is a property that at one time was going to be Commerce Township's Kmart. It was going to be our Lowe's, and it was more recently going to be our Kroger store. None of those came to fruition. The property is still vacant, but the realtor and Mr. Fetter are going to meet with me tomorrow about something that they've talked with us about for a few years now of doing some sort of a mixed use on that parcel. Mixed use comprised of some residential with more retail, commercial along the Haggerty Road frontage. So that's they'd like to meet with me tomorrow and in anticipation of getting in front of the planning commission sometime in the foreseeable future. Another property in the DDA that's probably key to the development area is the former Dick Morris dealership. So that property's been on the market for a while. I've gotten a few phone calls and had a few conversations over the last few weeks. One guy wanted to do auto repair on that property, which was not something that we were really excited to see. We felt like that property had more potential than to just be auto repair and a used car dealership, which it's been in recent past. Another potential buyer sees, I think, more of the potential of the property as being something of a entry point into the DDA area and the Akins development. So they were more interested in the investment potential of that property and maybe holding it until the Akins project comes to fruition. But there has been a lot of conversation about what can be done on that property. Other than that, I know you have a copy of my monthly report, and if there's any questions on any of it, feel free to ask me what they are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Campbell. Hearing no questions, we'll move on to the committee reports. Finance Committee, we did sign the cash advance from the township for the $1 million that you had approved at the last meeting. Molly, I believe that cash advance, has that already happened or is that coming up soon?
I'm going to get it out of the debt sinking fund by September 24th so that we can make our debt payments on October 1st.
Thank you for doing that for us. And of course, we do have the budget to the town board, so they are working on the full township budget, which we will see where that goes. Nothing else for the Finance Committee to report. Any questions? Hearing none. Public Relations, Jose.
Well, the Public Relations Committee does not have anything to report this month.
Understood. Have they, has there been any movement with the schools at all, or is that just all on hold at the current time?
Yeah, everything is on hold. Nobody knows the exact details.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, let's see where that goes for this year. Marketing Committee, Dave Smith.
Good afternoon, everybody. Really not much to report. I think Randy always states it so eloquently. I'm happy for the sale on the Haggerty parcel. I mean, that's a daycare, correct?
Yes. Goddard Schools.
It shows that single families growing in Commerce, which is a good thing. Good for our tax base. Other than that, everything's going smoothly. Thanks. Any questions? Be happy to answer.
Thank you. Hearing none, we will move on to item 9. Approval of warrants, carryovers, add-ons, revenue and expenditure report. I would like a motion and a second, please, if you would so choose.
Motion to approve.
I think I heard, yes, Jim Gotts was approval.
Second.
And he was second. Any discussion on the warrants or carryovers? Hearing none. Deb Watson, would you please call a roll call vote?
Deb is muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Mark, who did you have as the second for that motion?
I think that was Lublin.
Okay, great. Gotts,
Aye.
Lublin,
Aye.
Stelker,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Scott,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Nada,
Aye.
Hoy. Tim,
With that-
Hoy?
Tim is muted also.
Tim Hoy, you're muted.
Aye.
I heard him. Yep, thank you. Motion carried.
Thank you. Moving on to other matters. Do we have any other matters today?
I have a question for Dave Smith.
Yes.
Oh,
Jose,
go ahead.
David, the ship behind your desk, is that yours?
I'm sorry. What was that?
The cruise ship behind your desk, is that yours?
All surveyors have a big cruise ship like that. I took that picture in the Keys last year for the shore boat races. I thought it made a nice background. Now that I've learned to do this, we can get really creative. Next month.
I think I heard Dave Scott talking, starting to talk. You had something to say, Mr. Scott?
Yes, if I could just thank you for inviting me into your home, your office, your safe space, wherever we all happen to be coming into our meeting from today. Just a reminder, Saturday, September 19th, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is Household Hazardous Waste Day. Hopefully, everyone who has cleaned their basement 3 times or twice has a box or a pile of stuff to come to the Commerce Township Hall parking lot for drop-off. So pass it around. Was picked by GFL. We did not this. It's done a little bit differently, but it's still supervised by the same company, ERG. So we really were not involved in setting this one up. I apologize to those in the name of Ms. Averbach, since she wasn't reviewing our calendar. Saturday, I'm told, Jewish holiday, unbeknownst to us. The other issue, just as a reminder, if you have not seen, we've been looking for the Township Board subcommittees, working for several months, if not over a year, leading towards replacing fire station number 3. The town board has started the Daily Company as the company that will be building our new fire station. We're well on target to be, I guess, on budget as the SAD supports. So something that was supposed to take place long ago when Beaumont was going to come in and be built is finally coming to fruition. So look for that building to be used temporarily for training. It will be demolished quickly, and new fire station late of 2021. Town board approved the purchase of another fire truck, replacing one of our older trucks. If you recall, back in 2016, when we had 4 trucks that were over 20 years of age. The state of Michigan used trucks that are 12 years old. So we've done some interesting and innovative ways in leasing and acquisition and purchases. So our fleet is up. When it comes to the Realty and Ginster signs that have been stolen, I will share only that I've been active for years using trail cameras that are township property in problem area. I've turned over some camera SD cards to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, so we should have a electronic witness that will be assisting us on an investigation there quickly. Other than that, we've had just staying inside the DDA area. You may or may not have noticed we had some who used the M Bridge, as always anticipated would be used, as a place to hang politically controversial banners. Fortunately, they were observed quickly. We got them down quickly, but it didn't stop people from doing graffiti on 5 bridges as well. The graffiti was in the interior pedestrian walkway. It's been cleaned up. The banners have been removed, and hopefully we'll have continued patrol, but it goes to the fact of finding everyone, you, your friends, your family, your neighbors. If you see something, say something. Let the sheriff department know there's a problem so they can start addressing these problems. The same thing with all these real estate signs and vandalized that have been stolen and removed. You know, decades ago, we all know that to see political signs disappear, and they showed up at Tip Up Town in Houghton Lake as ice shanties with Nixon and McGovern and who knows who. The signs don't seem to be reappearing. They're not being dumped or burned elsewhere in town. But other towns, Novi, Walled Lake City, other areas have been having similar problems. So again, you see somebody tampering with a sign, call it in, let the sheriff's department go investigate and do what they can do to try and make things better. Lastly, the the state of Michigan has posted the EEE, Eastern Equine Encephalitis being spread by mosquitoes. So the state, different counties and regions already do mosquito treatments, but be prepared, be alert, be aware. It's a problem, it's occurring, and they've posted it on the website. Other than that, that's kind of just the quick rundown of everything we've been working on coming to fruition. Lastly, I would share, because it is a downtown development area topic, People's Express is our senior and disabled person transportation service. We have partnered with People's Express. We've done a lot of research into senior transportation. It is here. It is available for our 18 years of age or older disabled residents or senior citizens. Obviously, our ridership has been down because of the COVID. We have used the system to deliver food and pick up prepaid groceries for our senior citizens, so it's very effective. It's been very cost effective, and there's no need for that to not continue. But I would alert our future supervisors living here that this obviously is something, because of the cost. Just as an example, one young lady goes to physical therapy following an automobile accident in Commerce Township. She uses People's Express 3 times a week to get to physical therapy and home from physical therapy. Cost Commerce Township $150. It costs rider $12. It probably is something that over time we'll have to go to the vote of the people to see if they're going to want to support or continue with. But it has been up and active since January. It's there. I know other people have said they'd like to design something like this. It's already here. And the last thing, obviously, my last day will be November 20th. As I said when I came into office, I'll leave it better than I found it, and I'll help whoever I replace, unlike the person who vacated the spot and never gave me any input or assistance. So I'm eager to see who that might be, but hopefully we get out there and get the vote going. So I'm sure that you can contact the building department if you have any questions, where your signs can go, when your signs can go. As a reminder, especially in the DDA area, citizens of Commerce Township have taken a stance. They don't want their community littered with signs. So we have, whether it's insurance for sale, mosquito treatment, house painting, moving, clean your yard, whatever the signs are, we pick them up aggressively and put them in the dumpster. During the political season, we pick them up aggressively when they're in road right-of-ways and places that they do not belong. All the signs will be allowed on private property, not in the road right-of-ways, not just randomly scattered around town. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it's what the people wanted and the people appreciate, and it will continue. So make sure those signs are on private property and good to go. And that covers other matters for the day.
Thank you, Dave. Anyone else have any other matters? Hearing none, we will be moving on to item 11, closed session. Closed session, Tom Roush, we need to take a vote to move into closed session, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I would like to have you entertain a motion to move into closed session to discuss a written opinion of counsel. And I might indicate I do not expect that it'll be an extremely long closed session. And after the closed session, you will come back to open session to adjourn the meeting. I do not expect that the board will be adopting any motions as a result of the closed session. So the public should understand that they can wait while we're in closed session for the adjournment. But I do not expect that there will be motions taken in open session at the conclusion of the closed session.
Motion to approve in accordance with attorney's counsel.
Yeah, second.
We have the motion on the floor to go into closed session. Deb, can you take a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Scott,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Scott,
Aye.
Lublin,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Matta,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
Spelker.
Aye.
Thank you.
And will you move us into closed session?
I will, Mr. Chair. I'm going to go through the list now. Just let me know who should be in. We're going to start with Mr. Brian Winkler. Yes,
Yes.
no? Yes. And I'll just say the name and you can say yes. Dan Lubin,
Yes.
Dave Campbell,
No.
Dave Smith,
Yes.
Dave Scott,
Yes.
Debbie Watson,
No.
Jim Gotts,
Aye.
Yeah.
Jose Merkin,
Yes.
Mark Stacy,
Yes.
Matt Schwantz,
Yes.
Melissa Creech,
Yes.
Molly,
Yes.
Randy Thomas,
Yes. Yes.
Steve Matta,
Yes. Yeah.
Susan Spiker,
Yes.
Tom Rauch,
Yes.
Tim Hoy.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to send you all over there now. Yeah, when you would like to leave, you should see on your drop down on your respective Brady Bunch Square the request to come back to this meeting. All right, I'm
Thank you.
sending you now.
Join.
And to anyone that's left behind, feel free to turn off your video if you'd like, your video and your audio if you'd like. Mr. Hoy, I think you need to select that you'd like to go into that room. Thank you. Okay, welcome back.
Thank you.
Hopefully the
Ken,
journey
could
was
you
good.
make sure that Dave Scott is pulled back into as a call-in? Because
Yes.
he didn't have that ability.
Okay,
And that might be Dan Lublin too.
all right. Yeah, next time we'll make somebody a co-host that goes over there and they can do that for them. I don't see any other callers calling in right now. They're probably redialing. Actually, I just closed the room, so they should automatically pop back over. Let's see. It's going to close in 50 seconds.
Okay.
Am I back in?
There's Danny. That's one
Okay,
call.
okay.
Yep, Dan and Dave are both back in.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
We have everyone back in the main room. I would like to make them, Missy, do I have to make a motion to close session or just close the meeting?
Motion to close the meeting.
I think you have to make a motion to close out of closed session first.
Thank you. Okay. Motion to close session. Danny,
Motion to close.
Second.
Second is Jose. Deb, can you do a roll call vote on that for me?
Yes, Lublin,
You all right?
Merkin,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Gotts. You're muted. Jim Gotts, you're muted.
He is muted.
It's your space bar.
Okay, Jim, go ahead.
Aye.
Thank you. Winkler,
Aye.
Nada,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
Felker,
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries. And I would like a motion to close the DDA meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second? Do we have a second, Debbie? You got two of those?
I had Lublin. I'll take Smith as my second.
Perfect. Would you call the roll call vote for that?
Yes, Lublin,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Gotts,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Nada,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
Spelker,
Aye.
Scott.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your time today. We'll look forward to seeing you at the next DDA meeting.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good
Thank
one,
you,
guys.
Everyone, bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye.
day.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool.
I just have to let this wind down for just a moment here.